Hello everybody, and welcome back to another series of conversations with the female spiritual leaders. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nushin, and I have a passion for mind, body, spirit connection and union. And inside of this passion, I see our shift and collective evolution of our consciousness. And there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to go deeper and talk about it. And for today's conversation, I have the honor and privilege to have my dear friend Delphine with us. Yes. Delphine is a life coach, and she is a certified health and wellness, also specializing, which is my very favorite, in neuroscience. And she is also certified Metaphysician and an Eden energy medicine practitioner. So there's a lot to talk about, just those titles, and how you are working with your clients. I would love to say something about your own words that I absolutely was very interested to go deeper and talk about that. And you said, life becomes a thriving playground once we shift and evolve into our own sovereignty. And I know I might mispronounce it, but that's completely okay. With my Persian accent, with your French accent, we're going to get that.
So we're going to get there.
We're going to get there, yes. So that's really the whole concept of bringing the female spirituality into the conversation, that it's a playground. Let's all play together in neuroscience and so many other things that we're going to talk about. So welcome.
Thank you, Nushin, for having me here, and I'm happy to share to the world.
Yes.
My vision and a lot of people's vision of the current life right now. And you talk about playground, and I do have that energy of joy, and I'm aware of that, but this is what I want to bring, joy to the world. Yes. And there are many ways to bring it. We all have our texture for it. Yes. and colors for it, and I absolutely love the fact that in my work I try to always connect to this joy. So we can talk about joy later, but yes, playground. Let's play with life. Life is a game. We're just here to play some roles and to unplay some roles. Yes. And that is why that's how I help people in their sovereignty journey, is to be aware and be conscious of the roles we play in each and every single situation of life, professional, personal, and to see if those roles are serving us and others or not. And then realizing how much of certain situation we could have avoided, maybe if it was not that unpleasant, but we played a role in it. The whole dynamic of, it's because of, I don't know, I was born under the wrong star, or I don't know what, it's because of somebody. Yeah. I am really working with my clients in regaining the sovereignty of ourselves, as in the responsibility in everything we have in every single situation. So that is my passion, really, in the way I work with people, because I had to go through that journey myself. Really,
that's the whole, I think, joy of it, as you said, because we are experiencing what we have with our clients, because we need to go through it before we can just teach it. So if you don't mind, just let us know what took you to walk in this path of spirituality.
Actually, death. We always say it takes us an earthquake to shake us and wake up, really.
Yeah, I always say personal Armageddon.
Yes. So my personal Armageddon was thankfully not too close to me, but close enough. So that was the sudden death of the husband of a dear friend of mine, and I realized I had no clue, and it was 6 years ago, and I had no clue. I realized I had no clue what to say. What do you tell to somebody who just lost somebody out of nowhere, literally, that man died of a heart attack at a restaurant, like out of nowhere. And what do you say? And we see more and more of those things right now too. But what do you say? And we're not.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not educated at school or with our parents. It is not a conversation we have. So I realized, okay, I have no idea what to tell her apart from, my condolences, etc., etc. But what is death? What is our life about? Why do we stop living in out of nowhere like this? And I started to have so many questions for myself. So I went to dig into the internet to find answers, and I discovered two things mainly. I discovered the person who became my teacher in neurosciences, who talked about all of these tough topics on a quantum basis, basic quantum, spiritual basis, etc. And then second, I found somebody to actually help me to go deeper in my quest of what is life about. And I found a kinesiologist, and she's amazing. And she had me work on my value. I used to work in corporate, like big corporate, and we worked a lot on values and vision for the project, for the company, etc. But we never work on our vision or values and on ourselves. So I never realized that. So I start the work with her. 3 days later, I go to work and I'm crying and crying. And I was like, what is happening to me? I am somebody, so I have an MBA, so I'm a very mental, I work a lot with my brain, I achieved a lot of cool stuff in companies and like studying, etc. So when something that's so intangible as values or death or whatever happens, you're like, what do I do with that?
Yes.
So I went down into my values. I arrived to work and I'm crying. I was like, I don't know why. So I called my kinesiologist, like, I don't understand why I'm crying. She's like, well, we worked on your values 3 days ago. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but your values are not a match with what you're doing at work. So that was my second earthquake, basically, as in, what do you mean? So that's how I started my quest, really, because I had to find my way according to what I really truly valued, and which was harmony, beauty, spirituality, actually, and I don't remember, but I had like those 5 core values, freedom, of course, that I make every single of my choice now out, so each time I have to take a turn in my life or make a choice, I look at my values and I'm really questioning myself, does it match my values? So that's the journey in short. Like, I had to make choices. So that's how I went into learning coaching for myself, to heal myself. And I realized, oh my goodness, I love that. I love what it brought to me. I want to bring it to the world now. I want to be of service. That is really the start of my journey.
Yes, that's so wonderful. It's kind of the same for me, that when things was happening to me as a victim consciousness, then I was just thinking that God, whatever, creator, what else you want from me? I try to be a good daughter, good wife, good mom, good citizen, good person, and what else you want from me? And then my quest start, like, what else I am, and that, who am I? It started, and then one by one I was just like, whoa, look at that. Just go deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm not just a mom, I'm not just a daughter, I'm not just even a woman. So it's just way more than that. And the most interesting part is, as you mentioned, that how we can reroute ourselves. We are not stuck, we are not in one place. Every single nanosecond, we have a choice to go through billions and billions of different paths, as quantum physics is teaching us, and the neuroscience, that even the neurons, they have the plasticity, so they can be stretched. They can go farther. We are not stuck even in that logical left brain mind. So I would love to go, because this is my real passion, that how are we going to reroute ourselves without definitely we're going to go through a lot of changes, and as you mentioned, like, reevaluate ourselves, but how we can do it with less pressure and more joy and less trauma, either for ourselves and people around us, because when we are changing, definitely everything around us is changing as well. There is no choice, because we are all so connected to each other. So that's great. Then, so tell us that the ways that you are working with your clients to go through that process.
So, and that's why I called my practice Shift, Evolve, Thrive, because it takes a shift, I think, first, like a wake-up call, the famous wake-up call. And the evolve part is really where I work the most with the clients, as in that's what you talked about, to rewire the brain. So the way it works is it's easy. When we face a new situation, like a new information, the first time we're like questioning it, like, what is it? Because the brain does not recognize it. It could be a threat. Why not? So what is it? The second time where this information is brought to us is, oh, let me explore it. I want to try to understand it. And the third time that information is brought to us, to our brain, I mean, it's a deal done. Like, oh yeah, I know that. I understand that now, and it's true. It's my truth now. So the reason why I say that is because it takes at least 3 times to be in front of in a situation, or in front of information, or a person or whatever, to really integrate a new way of doing things, or a new way of conceptualizing something new. So my point to that is, life coaching takes a few sessions because it takes time to reroute a way. So at first it's uncomfortable, so you want somebody with you to just sort of not take your hand, but walk with you on the way, and tell you it's okay, you're not going to die. The biggest thing really is that our fear to die. It is the biggest, I think it is the biggest fear for humanity, to die, the unknown. So when you think of every single of your fear, it is based on that fear of dying. So let's say you need to change a habit, you need to quit smoking. Well, it's not really a good habit. It's not really something I work with people, but that's the most common thing. The fear is, oh, but I'm not going to talk with my coworkers at the smoking break, so maybe I won't get promoted. Like, there's so many hidden fears, hidden belief, self-limiting belief, etc., that comes with every single thing that we are doing in our life. We're doing something for the fear, or from the fear of, or whatever. So my shift here, the shift and evolve, is to shift from doing anything out of fear to anything out of love. Yes. But how to do it? You have to remove all of these self-limiting beliefs and the fears, etc., and emotional blocks and trauma from childhood. And it's work. And it's not comfortable. And that's why you hire somebody usually, because if you don't want to do it yourself. All these books, we have all done that. You open a book, self-help book, and like, oh yeah, great. What do? You close it. Yeah, okay, next. Yes. It's uncomfortable to go deep down. The famous shadow work. Shadow work is just to undig all of these self-limiting beliefs and all the stuff we see. And the best way, I have to say, the tips here, the biggest tip here, the best way to start that journey on shadow work, look at yourself in a mirror. Whatever you blame people about, this is something you blame about yourself. Yes. There's always, it never misses. That there's always a mirror. That person, even if you deal with the worst narcissistic person, you let him in your life. You are responsible. I'm not saying don't get out of it. I'm just saying you're responsible.
And approve what they are doing. Yes. It's very funny. What you said, it reminded me of kind of joke that why when you go to Hawaii you are not having fun, because you are there yourself. So it's all about ourselves. Even if I take this self to the Hawaii and I'm not having fun with myself, I take that no fun person to Hawaii with me. So, and then, so it starts from the within and all just project from the within. So if we can just go through one thing, everything is, there is no victim consciousness, there is not life happening to me, is that what am I responsible? What is my, as you said, my hidden beliefs? And it's just like so amazing. You said something else I want to point out. It just not present for me right now. And then as we go and dig deeper, it might come up. So inside of this conversation, you mentioned that people are, not just holding their hands, but guiding them, right? Okay, so that was the thing. You mentioned that fear of death. In a Sufi practice, there is a famous saying. They say, die before you die. Right? And that death is the death of ego or false identity, however we can name it. It's not real death, because real death, if it's happened, this physical body is gone, and then who cares? But death of this belief that I am this, I am that, this is my situation, this is my house, this is my work, this is my wealth. None of that, dying to all that, it's maybe another step to look at it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is, and it's scary to take that journey too. Yeah, a lot of people take it superficially on a superficial basis, but when you start that journey, I mean, I started that journey 5 years ago. Before that, a little bit, but superficial version. But now I'm like really digging deeper, and it's not comfortable. I am so glad. I have to say, I'm so glad I have you. I am so glad I have my friends, my community. So the other tip that I would share is, don't take that journey alone. If you cannot afford to have a coach, just gather people around you. There are people that are in this community that are available and ready to help. And you created a meditation group a couple of years ago in Phoenix.
Yes.
There is, I live in Virginia Beach, where we had the world headquarters for Edgar Cayce's ARE. There is always something that can be available to you wherever you are. And if it's not in person, it's online. So don't stay alone. This is really, the last couple of months of 2022 were tough for a lot of us. Like, I know it was tough for me, but it was tough for a lot of us. And it's not because I'm on a journey, I'm loving what I do with my clients. I still have stuff to work on myself.
Yes. It's never ending.
It's never ending. But I'm so thankful, in gratitude, for the friends and the people that are surrounding me. Honestly, this is, don't stay alone. We're not going to go through this by ourselves.
As much as it's a very, very personal work. Right? Even in a marriage, in a mother-kids relationship, it's a personal journey. It's only, one way to
can only do it.
But there are so many ways that we can get help. And one of my really passion and what's the right word is tools is how I can connect people together. And if you don't see the result with this one, try this one, try this one. And I always try it myself first to see and speak about the personal experience, rather than read just a book or take a seminar. Or one of my other conversations with my clients is, especially during that time of the shift of consciousness, I always talk in our evolution of our consciousness. If we want to go through the conversation of 2, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th or higher dimensions, there are so many trainings, so many books, so many seminars that they take us even from deep down victim consciousness of, I call it 2D to 3D, and then the max fourth dimension, which is a time that brings you to the now moment. But my conversation, my argument is, and then what? Right? So you learn all that, be here and now, and the power of now, which transform my life, live in the now moment, and then what? We are not just here by accident. So we are a creator. We are a co-creator, right? So how can I go to the next step? And that's my true passion starts. That yes, we worked with so many things. We brought ourselves to the now moment, and then what? Right? And then comes the neuroscience, and comes to so many other, like energy medicine and practice. And what I love about your work, because I watch your videos and YouTube and the content that you share, it might take about 2 minutes.
Yes.
Conscious breathing, or open up your meridians, or just work with yourself. It's just, I'm not gonna say simple, but it's doable.
It is simple. What it takes, and yesterday I was giving a workshop at the ARE, and the final word is practice, practice, practice. That's it. You talk about neuroscience. Neuroscience is only about, you want to change something, let's identify it and switch the behavior that comes with that, needs to happen as well. But do it and do it and do it and do it. The famous 21 days. It's actually apparently not a 21 days. It's like it's a different number now, but it doesn't matter how much it is. It takes practice to do it again and again and again and again. And the days it is the most uncomfortable to do it are the days you most need it, actually.
Yes.
So neuroscience is in a very plain version of it, is to change to adopt a new route, a new way, a new concept in your mind.
Yes.
Well, intention, motivation, but consistency, practice, discipline. Most of the yogi, etc., they're all about discipline. This is about discipline, to discipline your ego. You talked about your ego earlier.
Yes.
Discipline this. Now, to look back to the joy, I am not a disciplined person. So it takes me, I'm the first one for whom it takes effort to discipline myself, because all I want is to play. So what do? What I work a lot with my clients is, okay, we're going to do that discipline, but what can you bring in your daily life to bring joy? This is a very plain example. Doing the dishes. There's nothing, doing the dishes, this is something you have to do to not pile up stuff in your kitchen. There are two ways to see dishes. Oh, I have to do dishes, I don't like it. Second way, oh, it's fun because the dish soap makes bubble. Oh, that's fun, So it's every single task, every single thing we do, we want to find one tiny thing that brings us back to our inner child who wants to play. So, but it amuses me now when I do the dishes, because sometimes it makes bubbles and it goes like all over. I'm like, oh, that's fun. It's simple.
Yes.
Life is simple.
It is, and we have a gift to make it so complicated.
Oh goodness, yes.
And it's and I'm not talking about like a tragic that is happening. I'm not talking about yes, those things are happening, but it takes a very strong person first from the science of our nervous system, that how we can handle that. It's not, yes, the life is not always bubbly, there's not always joy around, but what it takes to be so strong in our own core, in our own nervous system, that when life punches, and then we can stay strong. And by saying that, I don't mean like block it as an armor and nothing can affect me. No, I know that I have sadness, but it's not like I am sad, like my whole being is sad. No, I have sadness because, I'm a human. I'm a sensory being. I feel. But how we can train this body, practice, this mind, this emotion, to
you just said it.
Deal with
I'm sorry. Yeah, you just made the difference. You talked about identity before, the death of our identity is to stop saying I am sad, for example. I have sadness.
Yes.
I had a conversation with a mother of an ADHD kid, and she said they are not ADHD. They have ADHD. It is a disease. It's a syndrome. Let's put it this way. So it's a syndrome, and they have this syndrome. They are not. We have to stop saying I am ADHD or I am sad or I have joy. I have sadness. I have this. Because otherwise, when we use the word I am, it is we're identifying to that emotion, situation, disease, whatever. Yeah. And then that's even harder to undo this identification to something.
Yes.
Yeah. You said it yourself, and it is part of the neuroscience to retrain, to choose to be highly aware of our words. And the way, that's another tip here, the way I work, because I'm still sleeping a lot on my words sometimes. And each time, I think the work is to be hyper conscious of us, of ourselves, our body, our mind, spirit. But each time I say something that's going back into any, victim role or identification role or ego-based statement or whatever, I say erase, like right away. So it doesn't like attach, You're right. And I use the number 3 a lot. So erase. So just let go and keep and rephrase your words. But it's really about rephrasing.
Yes.
So repatterning neurons is really hyper consciously choosing our words to choose words that are in a responsible role of ours. I'm just going to share. The other day, a friend of mine shared me her vision of what's the purpose of life. We all look for like, what's my mission in life? What's my purpose? She said the only purpose we all have across the board is to free ourselves from any vampiring type of roles. Like, I take your energy, they take my energy, I take, this whole energy vampire type of exchange. And sometimes I can be an energy vampire for somebody. Mm-hmm. Everybody can be an energy vampire. But the more conscious we are about our own energy, our field, the less we vampire other people's energy, and the less anyone can vampire your energy as well. So the goal is to just be us, just be. Mm-hmm. I know this is the name of your meditation group. Just be, but I'm not going to talk too much about like cutting cords and all that, but really to just stop these relationships, these victim, persecutor, and savior roles to begin with. It starts with that. This is. Yes. It's called Cartman triangle. Cartman triangle is the basis, I think. And you go deep into this thing, but to stop these walls, yes. Stop the neediness, stop the expectation, stop all of these things.
Yes, and it reminds me of something. I don't know. It's from somebody or I read it somewhere. So forgive me for not knowing the author of these words, but it says the highest form of consciousness is to observe yourself with no judgment. So we can observe ourselves. Oh, okay, I use that victim word, or I use that word. So it's just like a so quick game and play of, okay, going behind myself and be myself, like inner and outer. It's just so practicing to be in very, very sharp that observe myself, but I'm not judging myself. Mm-hmm. It just happened. It just came out of my mouth. And the more we are conscious about it, the more it's just like the movie that is playing and we have the controller. So the mind, or the consciousness, actually, not the mind, the consciousness is observing what needs to come out, what needs to be said. Like it's rewinding in the mind before it's actually happened. But it's like so nanosecond, and it practice that how much we can be conscious about our own behavior, our own words and actions before this actually happened. And it serves also the nervous system, like the reaction right away. Somebody says something, boom, it's just right there. But is there any space we can give ourselves to just, okay, that's being said, that's my process, and this is my action, not reaction. So as you mentioned, there's a lot to go deep, dig, and for me, it's just playfulness.
You talk about stop. I have a thing for people. I'm all about tips because I need these things to be reminded. Just stop. Stop talking. Observe patiently. So each time you see a stop, think of that, and again, that's neuroscience too. It's having landmark like that. Okay, I see a stop. Oh, yeah, that's right. Stop. Stop talking. Observe patiently. I need to. Each time I do something, or I'm about to react, not act, react to a situation. Okay, stop. Think of the stop sign. React. And so, as you train yourself to think of that, then after that, it becomes natural. You don't need to train anymore. It becomes natural. And exactly. So that is the beauty of neuroscience. They showed us, the scientists who studied our brain, they show us that we're all plasticity. We can retrain, reroute, but it takes practice. Takes time and practice, and it takes will, and it takes sometimes help. That's why we're all here, coaches, shaman, therapists, counseling, whatever. That is why we're here. To help.
The more the groove is deeper, the many years that we are having this belief, so the groove is deeper, and then it takes more time to take ourselves in the brain, in the neuron, to take ourselves out of that groove and start going a different way. And as you mentioned, even science is showing us by bright images, especially I'm in love with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work.
Yes.
They show that with different thinking, how neurons start to just go in a different path, but it takes some more time to go deeper and dig deeper to that groove of new thinking, new way of behavior, new way of actions. So I'm going to go back to your own word that you said you are all about tips. So I would love to give us some tips, quick in the morning, how you do it, or even right now, give us some tips. I would love to have that.
Okay. The first thing I do in the morning when I wake up, I do a hookup. So it's you take your middle fingers on your forehead, just gently push hold it. Sorry, I'm gonna make a little word of noise, and then the other middle finger you put it in your belly button. Okay. So
does it matter which hand or no?
No.
Okay.
And the reason why I do that in bed is because you can use the pillows, to rest your shoulder and your elbows. Yeah. So you go like this. The reason why I do that in the morning, first thing, you do it 2 minutes, 3 minutes. If you have 20 minutes, fine, do it 20 minutes. It resets your system. Mm-hmm. So after a night, and we're not going to go into that topic right now, but night is all about another journey where we take all kinds of travels at night.
Yeah.
So it's to reset, and it helps me to also prepare my day and put my intentions, what do I want to do today, and in how. I mean, I don't think of how, I'm asking how it's going to be done, and it really, the hookup really helped to restart, reset, center, focus. It's a very profound pose. So that's my first thing in the morning. The second thing I do in the morning, because I'm all about the daily energy routine, is to actually put my energy, kind of like when you take a shower. We take a shower for hygiene, right? But also when you take a shower, you use the energy of the water to just wash whatever needs to be washed out. Okay. But also I do energy routine because it helps me, kind of like people who do yoga, qigong, all of these practice, they're here because they help to put the energy of our body in the right space to be able to then go out in the world and interact with the world with the right energy. And Donna Eden always says, who is the founder of this daily energy routine, if everybody was doing the daily energy routine every morning, the world would be in a in a different state right now.
Yes.
Because we would react out of a strong energetic field.
Yes.
A strong aura.
Yes.
So that is the tips for me, is to take care of your energy. And the reason why it became important for me is because I was, like I said before, so much in my mind. I said mental before, but really my mind is the better word. I was so much in my mind. Being in my body now helps me to actually be better in my mind.
Yes, yes. And also the put the spotlight on the Aquarius people, or the people with the air sign, which, you know, we are Aquarius and the Libras and the Geminis. We are all in the head, and we need something to bring us to the body and ground ourselves. So, and then one very, very, especially these days, important practice that I talk to my client is, when you wake up, don't go towards your phone. Don't go towards your computer. Start from within. And that, what you said, is another way for me. It was just, wow, great reminder. I'm coming to my body. If you don't have time to practice meditation or even breath work or yoga, at least just touch your body. Reset your meridians before you go to the outside world and then go to the virtual world. But come to this world first and ask your body, how are you feeling? How are you doing? What are your emotions? You know, if there any stiffness, if there any pain, before we just go outside the door, I mean, door of this body, to the world of whatever the world wants from us, through the phone, or, you know, so many other devices, and even work, which so many of us, it's just like unavoidable. We have to work because until now we have,
we're still money.
We're not there yet, but hopefully it happens in my lifetime. But right now we are in the money system, so it has to be that way, and we are accepting that, and then find a way to reroute that one too. So any other tips or any other conversation? Because I can sit here and talk to you
hours
and hours.
Me too.
Yes.
No, but really, to wrap up, the sovereignty journey for me is to be free again, but the true free, the not free, the true freedom, freedom of being and unattached to it, or non-dependent on somebody's, somebody's going to tell you I love you and then you're going to feel good. Well, okay, it feels good, but that's not what you need. What you need is I love you myself.
Yes.
So to just unattach all of these things, let go all of the baggage and luggage and self-limiting belief and role playing and all of that, and just be actually free.
Yes.
And so that no matter what happens outside, you stay, you don't have to stay like that, right? But it's very teeny
not
tiny
like that also.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so the last word I would say is 0.0, and we will have to talk another.
Oh my gosh, we have to come back. I
love
0.0.
The goal is to go back to
have it in
0.0.
my the back of the my shelf. Is I love the 0.0.
0.0.
Yes, always have to come back to the 0 and then start. Yes, that's wonderful. And one more thing you said, and as I said, maybe we do the second part, because I'm just like, this is my playground, and this is my playmate, and I love this game. Is you say role play. If we can understand that the whole life is a movie, and we are the star of that movie, and we assign roles to play for the playmates. Okay, now you play that role, now you play that role, now I play this role. It's all like a role play. Right? Truly, we can script the next chapter. This is the beginning of 2023. What's your movie? What's your role? Who are the people that you want to have in your movie? And know that you are always the star. And many cases, we give that role to other people. As you said, you love me, you take care of me, you are in the pedestal and the sunshine of my life. But it's not going to go that way. It's always come back to who I am. So I cannot say thank you enough that, having your joyful self, and with all these informations and the tip, I put your topics, the information on the video. So anybody that would love to connect with you, that would be a great way. And I plan maybe we can come back for the second episode.
Second episode on point zero.
Point zero, yes. And start from point zero and go. So thank you so much. I love you.
Thank you, Nushin.
And I cannot
thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. Bye for now.